today to talk all things school nutrition. I am Kaitlin.
I'm Laura.
And I forgot what we were going to do with our mission statement.
Yeah, you know what we're going to do? We're going to talk about what the sixth component is. So cheers.
Cheers.
Good morning, sunshine, and hello, gorgeous, obviously.
Absolutely.
But we are so excited that you're here with us because we're really just talking about what is the sixth component and what does it mean. And truly, we all know that the first 5 components are fruits, vegetables, meat, grains, and milk. But what's the sixth? Well, the sixth is...
It's you.
It's you. It's you. It's all about you. And so what does that mean, Kaitlin?
We just want to be here so that we can talk about, what makes you tick in your program. What do you need to be professional? Let's talk about the wins. Let's talk about the losses, the hardships, the excitement. There's a lot of stuff that goes on in school nutrition, and there are a lot of feelings, and we just want to be a voice that brings them to light and lets people know what we do every day.
Yes.
And how we get through the day.
Yeah.
And hopefully bring some laughs.
Yeah, and in addition, how do we help each other get better? So we've had some wins and losses, and a lot of the work that we do is getting from good to better and better to best. And so we're hoping that this sixth component channel allows you and brings you some joy and laughs, and also an upper level of leveling up your professionalism, your leadership, and the professional development that you need within school nutrition to do what's best for kids. So we're so thrilled that you're here, and we want today to really spend some time to introduce ourselves, the channel, and what we're doing. So I get the privilege of asking this lovely lady a little bit about herself. So, oh my gosh, Kaitlin, what is your favorite school lunch?
Okay, so this question is tough for me because I have a couple. I will never, ever not love school tacos or nachos. The nacho cheese sauce, for whatever reason, is like the greatest thing ever. And I always feel like the taco meat at school is so much better than anything I can make at home. So I love that. And then grilled cheese and tomato soup.
Grilled cheese and tomato soup, it's so good. Do you dip?
Good.
Do you dip?
Always dip.
Dip.
Always dip.
Dip. Chunky soup or like smooth?
No, smooth.
I have to tell you, I think elementary kids really, I'm not saying you're an elementary kid, but I think elementary kids really prefer the smoothness, don't you think?
I do.
Yeah.
I am an elementary kid.
You. How long, speaking of age, how long have you been in school nutrition, Kaitlin?
I have been in school nutrition for about 12 years now. I've been in school nutrition for 12 years.
12 years.
In 3 different school districts.
Wow.
And I actually started with our dear friend Laura here.
Yeah, I remember that. You were our intern.
I was.
Yeah,
yes.
That was so fantastic. I love that. That was great. I think you were one of my favorite and first interns.
Well, obviously. I don't know who else would be your favorite.
So
obviously,
good.
It was me.
Okay, so in the land of food service, how in the world did you actually land in it? How did you root yourself? Because you're a registered dietitian.
Yes.
So you could have went into community or into clinical. Why food service?
Yeah, so it was really interesting. I did my rotations and my dietetic internship. Totally thought when I became a dietitian, I am working in a hospital. This is where I'm going to be. I'm going to love it there. I got into my hospital rotation, and I did not love any of it. So I got kind of nervous because I thought, oh my gosh, I went into the wrong profession. I spent all this time and all this money, and then I went to school food service thinking I am going to hate. I just have to get through these 4 or 6, I don't even remember how many weeks it was.
Yes.
And when I got in it, completely loved it.
Awesome. What was your favorite part? And many of you out there are probably either interns or a dietetic field of some sort, and you're probably going to have to go into some sort of internship like Kaitlin's speaking of. Many internship programs have different veins, and seriously, what was your favorite? What hooked you? What was the it?
So it was interesting to me in the hospital because you see people.
Yeah.
You teach them about whatever. So maybe they came in with a heart attack, and you teach them a heart-healthy diet. And then you pray and hope that you never see those people in the hospital again.
Again.
You don't want them to come back.
Right.
So there wasn't a lot of long-term goal setting. It was check it off the list and move on to the next one. I love in school nutrition that you can set, a 6-month plan, a 1-year plan, a 5-year plan, a 10-year plan. That I think was the most important to me because you can set those goals and see them come to fruition, and then you can move on to the next one.
Yeah, so I'm hearing Kaitlin say strategic planning, long-term planning, sustainability, and within your personality, like that fit from a leadership perspective, that really was a great vein for you. So good for you. All right, Kaitlin, here's another one for you, dear. I'm gonna softball pitch here your proudest moment or your proudest accomplishment that you are within school nutrition thus far in your 12 plus years of experience.
That's a great question, and this one is like near and dear to my heart because it happened the last couple of years during COVID. So we had a young student, or she wasn't a student of our district yet. I think she was 2 or 3, who was on a tube feeding. And she was coming to pick up the free bulk meal pickup every day.
Wow.
And it helped her transition from tube feeding to eating real food.
Wow.
It makes me almost want to cry when I talk about it.
That's
so
amazing.
And it was just fantastic. So she is now in our district, and she is a wonderful kid, and it's really fun to watch her grow now and see and know that we helped her so much.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's part of it, right? In the dietetic profession, you're able to provide growth, right? So the littles to the bigs. Oh, it's so good. Okay, this is a good one. This is a little bit of a harder throw for you here.
Okay.
Like, okay, 12 plus years, and this is something that we can't wait to hear your comments as well, is like, what do you understand now that you wish you would have at the very beginning?
So right out of college, you think you're going to save the world, right? You're going to change everyone's
you are.
habits. I went into school, my first year of school nutrition, I changed up the menu. I was like, we're getting rid of chicken nuggets. We're getting rid of pizza.
Oh my
we're not
gosh.
going to have any of that stuff. And it bombed.
Oh no.
And I realized that our job in school is to make sure the kids are fed. And obviously we have different nutritional standards. We're not feeding like McDonald's chicken nuggets and whatever, but we want to make sure that the kids are getting the food into their body because this population might be somebody that doesn't eat at home or have the opportunity to eat at home.
Yeah.
So I learned quickly what kids like. I think having kids also helped because I realized that, you can't start off with like a chicken breast and quinoa for kids, right? That's not something that they necessarily want to eat.
Right.
So,
Yeah. So you learned quick and bombed it and picked yourself up and moved on. And and you're probably now with a packet of sunflower seeds and you're like, yes, it's a win, right? It's totally what it is. I think a lot of us in school nutrition, right, we want to go for the gusto and we forget that these children have never seen even whole wheat bread. So we have to go in baby steps. And I think that's the other piece to the 6th component is that it's a slow and steady process. You've had 12 plus years of experience and that shows, right? We learn lessons learned from the mistakes that we've made, and they're not mistakes, they're learning opportunities, right? But yeah, so good for you. That's great. All right, give us an interesting fact about Kaitlin.
Oh.
It doesn't have to be school nutrition related.
Great question. I think an interesting fact about me is that probably 99.9% of school nutrition directors or managers, I'm very type A. So
no.
I need to have my ducks in a row. I have things planned and organized as far in advance as I can.
Yeah.
But I also am one of these people that's like, okay, we're gonna try this and we're just gonna do it and see what happens. And we'll figure out what happens from there. So while I am very type A, I also like that little, let's just jump in and see what happens.
Yeah. Willing to make the mistakes and being comfortable in your own skin and secure enough.
Yes.
To know.
You can't plan the outcomes. You can't know what's going to happen when you try something new on the menu or whatever. We're just going to throw it out there and do it.
And we're working with kids.
Yeah.
So anything's game, right? So you just have to go with it. Good for you. I love that.
Thank you.
Okay, so proud of something we now get to know a little bit about you, an interesting fact. Okay, this is the $1 million last question I have for Kaitlin this morning, which is, if you were given $10 million, Kaitlin, what would you do with it?
Oh my gosh. Can you do that? Can this grow into?
Yeah.
obviously I would have to pay off all my bills first, my mortgage and my student loans and all that fun stuff. But then I would go on a very tropical, fancy vacation.
Ooh. All right.
Like
so
I'm talking bungalow in the middle of the ocean. Like
yes.
you have to walk on a dock to
yes.
get out to where you're, and then it has like the glass floor so you can look down and see all the fish swimming underneath you in your living room.
I love it.
That's what I want to do.
I told Kaitlin that I was going to post a Mr. Beast video because he goes to different hotels from like, I think it's $10 to like $1 million overnight. And so we'll post that in the link as well for you because I know exactly which one you're talking about.
Yeah.
I think that's amazing. And Kaitlin's so good to take this time to a little bit of interviewing and understanding who Kaitlin is so that when we walk through these next episodes, you get a feel of who she is as a person because truly like that is the 6th component for the school district that you get to serve. Mm-hmm. So that's so good. I love it.
Awesome. So we're going to switch gears now and I'm going to ask Laura the questions. So now you get to have the fun answers.
Okay. All right. Hit me.
Off, number 1, Laura. What is your favorite school lunch?
I have, just like you, I have the tomato soup and the grilled cheese. Love that. That's probably is one of my favorites. But, you know, I have a soft spot for breaded chicken sandwiches too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, put the ranch in there, tomatoes and yeah, so good.
Question, pressed and formed or whole muscle?
Ooh, honestly, pressed and formed.
Really?
I'm not gonna lie. Like,
heard it here, folks.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't talk today.
Cheers. So good.
Okay. Question number 2. How many years have you been working in school food service?
Yeah, so I have off and on for like the last 15 plus years. I did do a little bit of a jaunt because I have 3 kids. And in the middle of that, I went to a local university and taught there for a while. But you know, it's like a Hallmark card. You go and you pick up the first one, right? And you laugh your brains out and you're like, it can't be that one. And then you just look around, but you always go back. So I feel like my career thus far has been a Hallmark card. So I came back.
That's a great analogy.
Mm-hmm.
Just so you know, I will use that in the future.
I'm a Hallmark card. But I will say, you know, here's the cool part is that I had a facilities director reach out to me and say, hey, Laura, like, I think you need to apply for this job and in a local school district. And that's a wrap.
So that's a great point. Like, it's all about the connections too. We want to make sure, and it's hard for me it was hard for me in the beginning to step out of my comfort zone and try to make connections with people. Yeah. But it's so important.
It is, yes. So I guess here for me, I got a job that way. Yep. So yeah, super.
Okay, so what landed you here to begin with?
What landed?
Job.
Internship. I was in a large central production kitchen, and my first career move was into a large central production kitchen. And so just getting the experience in your college education really kind of landed me there. And I knew out of the gate, like I couldn't sit behind a desk or a computer all day. I needed to be with people. I am a very much extrovert, and I just needed the people. I get energy from people, and certainly I hope they get it from me. But that's why I landed there. Awesome. A little bit of this, a little bit of that.
Yep, absolutely.
Sugar and spice, man.
What are you proud of?
Well, aside from the fact that I'm proud of my kids, I have 3 beautiful children. I'm really proud of the school district that I'm in right now. I've been there for almost 5 years. I'm working into my 5th. So I've been in 2 different school districts, and I'm proud of the team. I'm proud of walking into the school district and feeling like they're my family. And I know that I can count on them and trust them, and vice versa. They know that I'm going to say what I do and do what I say. And so that matters a lot. And we do big things because we have a great culture, and it's taken a lot of time and energy on my behalf as the leader to develop that positive culture and that loving culture and a culture of family. So that's what I'm most proud of.
So I think that sounds like an episode topic in the future.
I think so. Yeah. I think so. So good.
All right. So what do you now understand that you didn't understand when you started?
Really? Do you want the real answer?
I want the real answer.
Okay.
the folks want the real answer.
Okay, here's the deal. You have to play the game.
Yeah.
You gotta play the game. I was like you, wanted to come in gangbusters, like everything is chickpeas and, black bean and however, right? And I didn't necessarily put it on the menu, but I struggled speaking with my colleagues in school nutrition at that point a long, long time. Just of why can't we change this and why can't we change that? And I was the menu planner. So very similar to your statement, but truly I think it's an understanding of the big picture as well. And I think that's really what you're saying too. We get it, right? From the budget to the menu planning to the staffing and people. Like I now get the customer because I have 3 children, and I also now get our staff because they're humans just like we are. And they're hungry and they're thirsty and they need a little hugs now and then. We're all human. And at the core essence of all of that is we just want to be cared for.
Yep.
So I now understand that.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Okay.
What's my next question? Oh boy.
An interesting fact about Laura.
Okay, so I was a farm girl. I grew up on a farm in the Midwest, and on that farm, my parents did an amazing job. I think they did a pretty good job with me, but just ask me. Oh, just ask my brothers and sisters. But truly in that, I didn't understand how impactful this would be, but I was a free kid for 18 years. So I come with the perspective of understanding what it feels like to having money in my locker because I couldn't share my lunch ticket. I understand what it feels like to have hand-me-downs. I understand what it feels like to not know what goes on your lunch tray because I didn't have the money on my account and I knew my parents wouldn't allow that. So I needed to know what the 5 components were, but my heart was the 6th. And that was a really, I think, and is now as a professional, an eye-opening and helpful experience because I get it. I get what, for my school district, what those 20+% of kids, and you're at, what's your free and reduced rate? 35. So like I am that 20 or 35%. And so I speak differently, I think differently, and I have a really soft, gentle spot for care for all kids, no matter where they're coming from.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of what I was saying too with when I wanted to change the menu up, but the kids weren't eating it, and what are they eating at home? And now, granted, it doesn't mean that they're not eating at home, but we want to make sure that if they're taking hot lunch, whether they have a free, reduced, or full pay status, if they're taking hot lunch that day, we need them to eat with us.
And it's a win. Yep. Exactly. Every day is a win. And that made a huge difference for my parents as well. So it's a beautiful thing for the entire community. And I want you all to remember that the work you do matters, literally. And it matters from that 2-year-old that you shared with the tube feeding all the way up to professionals in their career and why you may choose this career because you have personally been impacted in a beautiful way. And so I hope that rings true for some of you out there. But interesting fact, I'm proud of that.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
That was a really good one.
Thank you.
Okay, here's a fun one.
Okay.
$10 million.
Okay, if I had $10 million personally or professionally, I'm going to go personally. Okay. So if I had $10 million, I would do similar things. Like we're such realists, like pay off our house and pay off our student loans. I have a master's in business in addition to my dietetic undergrad. And so I kind of have a couple loans. Cheers to that. Eek.
And also, you know what to do with your money because you have a master's in business. So she's going to start with $10 million and then it's going to be like 45 at the end of the first year.
I would invest and do all those fun things, but I agree. I think I drive a Honda Odyssey, which by the way is an amazing van, and because I have 3 kids, it's fantastic, but I would probably upgrade just a little bit. So yeah, I wouldn't do anything crazy outlandish, but make some good choices. And then professionally, if I had 10 million, oh my gosh, we would get new kitchens and new equipment, and we would provide insurance for all of our staff.
So important, so important.
I would take care of my family.
Figure out how to feed those kids.
Yep.
For less money.
Yep.
Yeah.
And literally, so take care of the staff and take care of the families. So, yeah.
awesome.
Thank you for the questions.
Yeah,
That was so
thanks
fun.
for answering them.
You bet.
All right.
So I tell you what, we had fun asking each other and introducing this channel. We want to hear from you. We want you to humbly answer the questions. I'm going to go ahead and put those in the show notes for you. We'd love to see your comments underneath all of the questions, or maybe you pick one of the questions and answer that. And so we want to get engagement from you. We want to hear from you. As school nutrition professionals, you might think a lot like us and or different, and that's what makes it beautiful.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So we have a challenge for you this week.
Challenge.
We're going to have a challenge every week. The challenge this week is to figure out what the sixth component means to you.
Yeah.
So what are you going to do in your program that's going to empower it? What do you need to be better in your program?
Yeah.
And how are we here to help you? We want to do whatever we can to help you because we've needed help ourselves too, right? And there's never enough people in the community to talk about it. So think about yourself today, which is hard to do. Think about yourself this week and what you can do to make yourself grow a little bit more. Like Laura said, from good to better and better to best.
That's right, exactly. So I'm really proud of you. Welcome to the channel. Thanks for being here, and cheers to you, to your sixth component. Bye.